Now, if you're the father of a teenager like me, you might be getting used to getting texts with emojis. Now, a Canadian judge has ruled those emojis can be used in contractual agreements. The ruling follows a dispute between a flaxseed farmer and grain buyer who sent a thumbs up emoji to confirm their deal, but the buyer was never sent the seed he ordered. According to the judge, the emoji was valid, even though it is a non-traditional way to sign a document. Courts in the U.S. have seen it a little differently. That's where we pick up tonight's Is It Legal discussion with criminal defense attorney David Bruno, along with civil rights attorney Robert Patillo. Gentlemen, welcome.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks, Mike.
Good to see you, Robert.
From the ruling, this court readily acknowledges that emoji is a non-traditional means to sign a document, but nevertheless, under these circumstances, this was a valid way to convey the two purposes of a, quote, signature, to identify the signator. David, what's wrong with that?
Well, first off, this is a Canada case, so everybody in the U.S., we don't have to worry about precedent, and thankfully, right, because who would have thought? And Mike, Robert, I got Black's Law Dictionary with me right here, and as I'm waiting here, I'm trying to find the emoji in here, and guess what? It's not there, okay? So this is crazy, because in this particular case, too, I mean, the contract was sent over asking for acknowledgement, confirmation of receipt. It wasn't asking for an agreement of the terms of the particular contract. And then when he gave the emoji, it was essentially saying, yeah, I got it. I've received it. Mm-hmm. But the court looked at it completely different, as if it was acceptance of an offer. And that's what you need. You need an offer, you need acceptance, consideration, and legal standing or capacity to enter into the contract. And I just completely disagree, because there's so many ways to interpret that thumb.
All right, from the judge in this case, a starting point is that the emoji has arrived in the world of dictionary meaning. Quote, it is used to express assent, approval, or encouragement in digital communications, especially in Western cultures. I'm not sure how authoritative that is, but this seems to comport with my understanding from everyday use, even as a latecomer to the world of technology. Robert, what's your assessment of that legal argument?
Well, the judge is completely correct. If you think about it, throughout history, people have used a X as their signature on documents when they were not able to read and write, for example. We've used all sorts of forms, because the entire point of a signature on a document is simple attestation, as was mentioned. You have to have offer, you have to have the acceptance, you have to have consideration, but the way to show this is through attestation on a written document. This digital document was signed in a digital fashion in such a way that you could identify the person making the attestation, in this case via an emoji, and that is valid for a signature. The only thing the signature is there to do is to show that the person who is agreeing to it is the person who agreed to it. So when you have a digital footprint as with a electronic document, you don't need anything besides an emoji or anything else in order to show that you are agreeing to the contract. How is an emoji different than the electronic signature where you just scribble your hand over the pad? There's no difference. So the judge is simply updating the rule of law to the time as it is today.
All right, we're nearly out of time, guys. Let's do one last one. From the opposing counsel in this case, allowing a simple thumbs up emoji to signify identity and acceptance would open up the floodgates to allow all sorts of cases coming forward asking for interpretations as to what, for example, what does a fist bump emoji mean or a handshake emoji mean, etc. Counsel argues the courts will be inundated with all kinds of cases if this court finds that the thumbs up emoji can take the place of a signature. David, final thought from you?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it really comes down to what is the purpose? What is the acknowledgement? Does it reach assent? And I agree, slippery slope. There's so many emojis out there.
Okay.
We should not be interpreting them just based on an emoji themselves.
Robert, final thought from you.
We've had murder cases decided on emojis. We've had conspiracy and racketeering cases decided on emojis. Digital information is here, is now as part of the legal system. We can either catch up or be left behind.
All right, gentlemen, stay with us. Moments away, our Nightcap crew will reveal just how picky their palates are. And there's still time to weigh in on Twitter and Instagram at Fox News Night. The Nightcap crew is next. We are back with the Nightcap crew. Matt Finn, Marianne Rafferty, Kevin Corr, Carl DeMaio, David Bruno, and Robert Patillo. Tonight's topic, Flexible foodies. A recent poll found that 53% of Americans consider themselves to be adventurous eaters. So are you an adventurous eater or a picky eater? What's the most adventurous food you've ever eaten? And did you like it? All right, Matt, why don't you start us off?
I don't have a great story here. I'm not a picky eater, but I don't have anything terribly adventurous, to be honest with you.
All right, at least he's honest. Marianne, how about you?
Okay, I agree. I stick to the things I love. I don't veer off very much, so yeah, I'm kind of boring. So yeah.
Carl?
Chicken and steak. I stay really basic. And I think I'm the only Californian, and particularly the only San Diegan, who doesn't eat any fish. Surprises people.
All right. Kev?
I guess I'm going to be the outlier here. I mean, if it's not tied down, I'll pretty much try anything. The most adventurous, though, I went to a French restaurant over in Great Falls, Virginia, and I had frog legs and escargot and had a delightful time, and I think that may be about as adventurous as I've been.
All right. Bonjour. David, how about you?
I mean, I'm anything greasy, really. I mean, fried food is really where I go, and obviously not the healthiest. I'm working out, though. I'm working it all off. But I guess the thing is probably chocolate-covered ants is the craziest thing that I've ever done.
Yikes.
And it really tastes no different than a piece of chocolate. So anybody wants to try that, go ahead and go at it.
All right, Robert, bring us home.
I'm convinced this segment only exists to make me sound ridiculous. So I'll give you a few. I had cricket tacos in Mexico City. Ooh. I had horse meat sashimi in Tokyo. I had snake fruit in Thailand. And in the Emirates Palace in Abu Dhabi, there's an ice cream shop in the lobby where you can get Camel Milk's ice cream with gold leaf on it, which was amazing.
Oh.
Whoa. Well, I went.
This segment only exists to sound crazy.
I mean, the places that you've been is amazing in and of itself.
I went to the Rattlesnake Roundup in Sweetwater, Texas early on in my Fox News career, jumped in the pit with the rattlers, and then they fried them up. And I'd like to say it tasted like chicken. It was kind of shady, though.
Well, yeah.
So we asked our Twitter and Instagram followers if they're adventurous or picky eaters, and the results show on Twitter, adventurous eaters, 39%. On Instagram, adventurous eater, 44%, picky eater, 56%. We got some good responses. James Kimmy saying guinea pig in Ecuador tastes like chicken. Deb, rattlesnake grilled. It was good. I had it at a high-end D.C. restaurant. I didn't love it. And Sharon Crouch says black soup, homemade in Belize. Thank you for watching America's Late News. Thank you all for staying up late. I'm Mike Emanuel in Washington. See you back here tomorrow night. Good night.